mess with the expectation. And like, we always loved that we're both big Monty Python fans and watched it on PBS, at 10:30 at night
Thursdays.
in Colorado growing up on Channel 6. What I loved about Monty Python was every time you tuned in, you no idea where you were going.
Yeah.
And TV today is like, well, are you going to watch tonight? They're going to do this, and that's the way it's promoted. And we've always been like, we always like the South Park episodes where it starts here and then, you have no idea where you ended up. So we're in this weird kind of dilemma about Hurricane Katrina. We don't know what to do.
Have you been that way before at all?
No,
because
because we've
it's
always
ever happened. I mean,
yeah, because it's never been expected. Now it's the
if you could deal with Terry Schiavo, you can deal with.
Oh, we could do it. It's just that people are expecting it.
It's just a different
whatever they're
thing.
expecting, you may not be able to reach it because they have such pronounced ideas.
And whatever they're expecting, we don't want to give them, because as soon as you give people what they're expecting, I just think then we're a sitcom.
People were blown away that we did a Terry Schiavo show. They did.
No.
Yeah, then we didn't want to do that. But like the fact that everyone's like, I can't wait. They're going to tune in and see what they do about Hurricane Katrina. It's just a different. I don't know. It's a different way.
Monty Python was both heroic for both of you.
Huge.
Oh yeah. This is the beginning and end of.
Have you seen Spamalot on Broadway? Are you going to?
We haven't. I think we're going to go. Maybe.
I'm a little nervous too.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm such a huge fan that I'm
you may not want to go. You may not want to go.
A little worried. It's kind of like someone.
It's going to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Well, you've got to remember, Eric created it, so therefore.
Absolutely.
And so the same writing sentiment.
Yes.
Is there. Politics. Are you a libertarian?
That's a great question.
What does that mean?
I think that there is a.
He believes in liberty.
I believe in liberty.
Are you?
It's possible.
We're not going to put you in jail for this.
Yeah.
It's possible. Maybe.
We did a South Park episode.
Why is he embarrassed by this?
I'm not embarrassed at all. It's just actually it's a difficult question because
why is it difficult?
Because it's
like saying, are you?
It's like, are you gay? It's like a little. On a Friday night, maybe. There's no chick around, sure.
Imagine. On Friday.
You know, Charlie.
You know how it is.
Friday night, you're a little.
Friday night, what the hell?
Nothing's on TV. I don't know.
It's a really fascinating thing. We've always talked about how we grew up sort of. I think we were both Python fans, and we were both sort of punk rockers.
Right.
And we wanted to do a punk rock TV show. And when we were growing up, the way to be punk rock was to be really liberal, because we grew up with Reagan in high school and all of that, but then we moved the problem was we moved to LA and we did and then the only way to be punk rock in LA is to be a Republican, because it's the only way, you're in a party, the only way is to be like, I think George Bush is awesome. Everyone's like, what? Just like, and that really, it's amazing. And when we did Team America.
I've seen Trey do that before too.
Yeah.
You mean go into a party and say,
just said it.
I think he's great.
That was in Malibu, and he just said, I love George Bush and I love my gun. And this lady face just melted. Her
face melted off.
It is like, we've got this, we got this reputation. There was this book that came out called South Park Conservatives,
right?
Where, and it was a label I think originally given by Andrew Sullivan to the show, and I think there is a little bit of like libertarianism.
Is he your number one fan? There's some great quote about it.
Yeah, he's a big fan, and like he's written some really cool stuff about the show and Team America, the movie, but. I think that some of, we did grow up in Colorado, which is kind of a Republican state, but it's more of a libertarian kind of like live and let live kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of that seeps through in the work, but we've taken so many different conservative ideals to task too, but we have just ripped on a couple of liberal ones, like, Barbara Streisand and Rob Reiner, and all of a sudden, like, we're conservatives, and it's like, to live in LA, to live in California, those are the sacred cows. Literally and figuratively. Rob Reiner, that was a bad joke.
Oh, it was.
That was a terrible joke. But it is true. Like Trey said, it's like, if we sit around in our writers' room and we all sit around and go, and what I think of our best stuff comes out is we try to personify this side of the argument and this side, and then we take a little funny way out.
Right.
And I'm just not interested in Trey can vouch for this. I'm not interested in sitting around and agreeing with people. Right. And where we live is like the liberal part of the world. And not because
there's a group think.
There's a group think, and you only get to some new truth by argument and by dissent. And it's like some of it is just we just play devil's advocate all the time.
Here's what else you said. I am just sick of actors on CNN parroting what they read in the paper. I keep expecting Larry King to say, and now for a word on Iraq. The Cookie Monster.
Yes, it really. Well, I mean, and that's when we were writing Team America. And we were
Team America?
Team America is a movie we made last year that was all done with marionettes, and it was basically about a world police force, international world police force that obviously parried everything that's been going on. And it was so fascinating because we, the whole movie starts where the international police force shows up in Paris and just blows away all of Paris in order to get one terrorist. You know what I mean? And it's basically like, and it was a condemnation of that. But on the other hand, in the middle, it sort of took a turn and started ripping on the liberal, on the actors that, for us, we live in LA, we know a lot of actors, they're not smart people, right? I mean, and just like we shouldn't be on any TV show discussing what world policy should be,
I was going to ask you to stay to the next segment. We're going to talk about
right.
it. Right. Rock. And
believe me, you don't want to hear our opinion. It's not any good.
All right, roll tape. Here's a clip from the 2004 movie Team America. Here it is.
This.
All right, let's make this interesting. You lose.
He's getting away with the WMD! I got him! Damn, I missed him! Sarah, he's got the bomb. You got it fixed.
I got him, Carson. He's heading for the Louvre. Your plans are over.
All right, Sarah! Yeah! All right, team!
Step into it.
All right! Bonjour, everyone. Don't worry, everything is boom. We stopped the terrorists.
Did you go to school in Columbine?
Did I go to school?
Yeah.
Did you go to school?
You have an education.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? How do you make stuff like this?
Did you go to school?
Did you go to? Did you go to school in Columbine or?
No. I went to. I grew up in Littleton, Colorado, where
Yeah.
Columbine High School is. I went to a different high school. Littleton's not a little town. It's
Do you
a
know
big,
Michael Moore?
I did. I know him a little bit. I talked to him on the phone a couple times, met him a couple times, and then did the interview in Bowling for Columbine.
And what did you make him? A suicide what in the movie?
He was basically a piece of ham. he blows himself up. He blows up the Mount Rushmore, and then we had his whole puppet filled with ham. And we had this great scene that had to get cut later, but they were like, "My God, Michael Moore was made of ham."
So the whole scene didn't make the movie?
No, the scene where he blows himself up did, but just the part where we, said that he's made of ham. Yeah.
Yeah, how did he like it? Did he?
We hope not.
I don't know.
We hope not.
I don't know if he
That's the
liked it
point,
yet.
isn't it?
I mean, no, it was really, that was a personal thing for me anyway, because he actually called us when he was making the Bowling for Columbine movie, and he said, I'm making this movie about gun control. Will you make an animated thing for it? And we said, no, sorry, we're busy. I have a gun, actually, so I'm not really interested. But then he said to Matt, he said, well, we're going to interview, we just want to interview about Littleton, ask you about Littleton. And that seemed like a, fine thing. So Matt went and did an interview about Littleton.
And that's all he talked about, Littleton.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff, and I said that he interviewed me, and he didn't misrepresent me in the movie at all. I mean, I think it's not like I'm mad about my interview or anything.
Right.
He didn't mischaracterize me, but he did do an animation that was surprisingly South Park-like. He had somebody else do an animation, and most people that
he ripped off South Park.
Well, and what happened was it actually ripped off a film I made when I was in college. that was South Park looking.
It's called American History.
It was called my movie was called American History, and this thing ripped that off, and they put it right after Matt's interview to make it look like we did it.
Oh.
So then everyone started coming up and going, "Hey man, love that thing about, glad you hate guns too." And I'm like, I don't hate guns, and it's like, "Hey man, the cool thing you did," and I was just like. And then when people came out and started saying, well, Michael Moore, he's a manipulator and he changes things to make things look some way. I'm like, yeah, I was a personal victim of that. It's totally true. So I made him a fat piece of ham in my movie and I blew him up. Yeah. I'm done. I'm fine. I feel fine now.
It's just a puppet movie.
You got it off your chest and everything's okay.
As far, we're cool.
And it proves a maxim, don't screw around with anybody that has a cartoon.
Yeah, that's right. We'll make you into ham and blow you up.
Make you into a puppet and blow you up.
Congratulations. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much. It was fun. It's a great time.
What else should I say about it? That's it.
Yeah,
huh?
that's great.